What is up? It's Corey Lesher. Scale Modeling Network is the channel. Just doing a little demonstration today and on how after painting you get done with your primer, you put your top coat paint on, and then you get your clear coat on, and you have a little rough finish with that clear coat. Typical procedure on what you would do to eliminate that and kind of get that shine back with minimal defects. One of the things that I want to talk about is the process of that. I just started doing, this is the 81 Camaro, a little wet because I just started doing the sanding process, and I thought I might as well bring this to everyone's attention. The way I do it is a 2000 grit sandpaper is what I start with wet. So this has already been done with the 2000 grit. Very lightly we go across the car. Barely any pressure. And that's with the 2000 grit. Okay, all the way around the car. I got the hood here too. You can see it's leaking water because I got it drenched. The way to do it is wet for sure. Try not to make too many grooves or scrapes into the paint. And then I get the car done with the 2000 grit. I move into a 4000. This is the process. 2000 grit, 4000, 6000, 8000, and sometimes I bump to a 12,000 grit. All of it done very lightly, barely any pressure, and it's just back and forth movements. Then I wash the car off with soap and water, very minimal soap, wash it off. And then sometimes right at that point I'll blow dry it. And then once it's dry, then I can use the polishes that I use. Here's my system that I use. Meguiar's Scratch X. That's the initial one that I put on there. That takes some of the scratching off from the sanding down. After that, I move into my 3 Tamiya products, which are right here. We have, and I go in this order too. I use Tamiya Compound Coarse. Then I use Tamiya Compound Fine. And Tamiya Compound Finish. If I like how the car looks and shines at that point, that may be all. I'll put it under water at that point too and dry it off with a blow dryer. But if I like how it looks, it'll be it. If I need to go further, I may put some Canuba wax on there and gently buff that car right out and get a great shine. That's the Tamiya products are very good for polishing. But really, I mean, most of the time when we do spray these cars with clear, I think there is some imperfections with a lot of that. Not everything, not all the time. Sometimes you get lucky, but I think as soon as you get into the clears, you know, flat or gloss, whatever, there's a little buildup and there's a little orange peel look to it. And so you can get that to come down a little bit by sanding it down. Now, with sanding, you also want to have at least 3 coats of clear on this car. Because you want to have a couple layers of clear. If you start removing one layer, you have 2 underneath. You do not want to sand down a car until you hit your primer and beyond and into the actual plastic. Then you're forced to kind of repaint the whole thing. So I think it's important to be lightly. I think enough layers of clear needs to be applied to the car, and then you're sanding down very light. 2,000, 4,000, 6,000, 8,000, and sometimes I go up to 12,000. That's my process with soap and water in between and drying it off and doing the Scratch X Meguiar's with the Tamiya 3 stages polish. And that is the way I do it. I will show you finished product when we're all said and done. Okay, so we're gonna put a little bit of coarse Tamiya compound couple drops. We don't overdo it. That's a little overdone, of course, it's as I said it. Use it back there. And we're just gonna get a good area of the rag, like a t-shirt, and just rub it in. I'm not going to go too hard, especially with the coarse compound, because it could remove some of the clear coat. Just like when you're doing a real car, same thing. So we're just going to rub it in a little bit. We're going to use this like bath towel, real soft. Just to remove the residue from the compound. And that's not the polish. I mean, it's really not. I think the Tamiya fine and finish are more on the polished side. This just removes any impurities and dirt. It's basically just a compound. So that's where we are with that. Now we'll go to the fine. Again, just a couple dots. Maybe more than a couple. Let's switch over to this. Get a good spot that's nice and dry. You don't want to put too much on because you'll get it into all the door panels, panel lines. So you try to avoid some of that. But it's just lightly polish. I'm a little bit more pressure with the fine because I'm not as worried about it taking the clear coat off. I already used the McGuire's Scratch X. I used that and did the whole car in that, in the hood. Okay, and then we'll take the finish, which is the last part of the polishing process. Back into the t-shirt. And rub that one in just like you're rubbing on a real car. Same thing. This is the finisher of this three-step process with Tamiya products. Remove it. And there we go. don't know if you can see the shine in that. Much better than what it initially started out as. There we go. There we go. There was a good shine right there off the back window. So basically, we start off with the car. We want to do is wet sand. Just to recap, wet sand with 2,000, 4,000, 6,000, 8,000, up to 12,000 if needed. Wet sand the whole car, dull it down a little bit, but don't go too deep with the sanding because you'll burn through the clear coat into the primer or into the body, the plastic. Once you're done with that, you want to use soap and water to just kind of clean off the car, blow dry it with a hair dryer, and then you move into your processing, polishing system, which I use Scratch X from Meguiar's. Tamiya, we have Tamiya Coarse, Tamiya Fine. In this order we do it. Tamiya Finish. Just really careful with using the compounds, especially the coarse from Tamiya. It can burn right through also, so gentle with the polishing. But that kind of wraps it up here on the paint job, especially after clear coating it. You just want to make sure that you do the best you can to bring out that shine. So, and I tell you, I should have shown the car before because it did not look like that. So, hope this helps, guys. Support me with by subscribing to my channel, Scale Modeling Network. Also like this video and share it if you can with anybody who's interested. Thanks for watching.